For this tutorial, you will need triple antibiotic ointment, a nonstick gauze pad, conforming gauze, vet wrap, and bandage scissors.
Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate what we will use for usually just superficial wounds or wounds that maybe have a couple of sutures in them that we want to keep covered until they're well healed. So the first layer that we're going to put on over our wounds here is a non-adherent pad, because we don't want anything to stick to that wound and pull off a nice scab or granulation tissue that we're wanting to stay there. So I would take my non-adherent pad and any ointment that we're suggesting. We don't always put ointment on wounds depending on what they are, but we often will, especially just superficial wounds. So we've got our brand new container of triple antibiotic. We'll put a little on here. You don't need a lot, just enough to cover that wound. Then what I like to use to hold our non-adherent pad to the horse's leg is a little conforming gauze. So usually your ointment will kind of stick to your wound. And I'm gonna put my conforming gauze at least 1/2 inch or so above my non-adherent pad, and 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch below my non-adherent pad. I also want to make sure I'm not pulling this very tight. We don't want to put too much tension on the tendons at the back of the leg or on the tendons at the front of the leg or over the cannon bone. So this is snug, but I can still fit a finger underneath it if I need to. And this is a little stretchy, so it will stay right there. So I'm just gonna cut this. We don't need to use the whole roll. We can save that for the next bandage change. And if I need to, if it's looking like it's coming undone, I'll just gently tuck this under if I need to, but usually it'll stay there. Then I'm gonna take my vet wrap. So this stuff is especially stretchy. So again, we wanna be careful that we're not stretching it out all the way and putting unnecessary tension on any of the structures in the horse's leg. So I'm putting this on. I want to leave just a little bit of my conforming white gauze underneath exposed, because the vet wrap, if it ever got wet or was a little bit tight, we don't want it to rub on the skin directly. So I am making sure that there's a little tension on this vet wrap, but it's, again, not particularly tight, and I will show you in just a minute just how tight I have it, and I want a nice consistent tension. And then I'm gonna cut this. Some bandages like this actually tear pretty easily just with your hands, but you should have a pair of bandage scissors. So again, I can fit a finger under here, but it's nice and snug and it's not going anywhere.